Here we have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go with the information. A bakery standardizes muffins to weigh between 1 3/4 and 2 1/4 ounces. If M is the weight of a muffin from this bakery, which of the following inequalities expresses the possible values of M? Okay, when I go over the options here, in each option we have absolute value inequality. So solving which of these four absolute value inequalities gives so the solution over here, that is the minimum weight of the muffin is 1 3/4 ounces and the maximum is 1 to 1/4 ounces. So solving each each absolute value inequality in the given options, it's time consuming. So we should be trying to get the absolute value inequality which gives this one as solution. That is the minimum weight is 1 3/4 ounces and the maximum weight is 1 to 1/4 ounces. And also the question says M is the weight of the muffin and the minimum value of M is 1 3/4 and the maximum value is 2 1/4. So we can write this one as an inequality, that is 1. Let me write the stuff over here. 1 3/4 less than M less than 2 1/4. Okay, now to get the absolute value inequality which gives this inequality solution, so what I have to do is first I have to get the average of the minimum value and maximum value. Okay, now let me get the minimum average of minimum value and maximum value. For that I have to add the minimum value 1 3/4 and the maximum value 2 1/4. It has to be divided by 2. So now to simplify this one, we have to convert this one to an improper fraction, this mixed number. For that we have to multiply this 4 and 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 positive 3 is 7, that is 7/4. And here if I convert this one to improper fraction, I'll be getting 9/4 because 4 times 2 is 8. 8 positive 1 is 9. So 9/4, everything has to be divided by 2. So here we are adding two fractions with the same denominator 4. So we can take 4 as a common denominator and we have to add the numerator as 9, 7 positive 9. Everything has to be divided by 2. Then when I simplify this one, I'm getting 16 over 4 divided by 2. So 16 over 4 is just 4 divided by 2. Finally it gives 2. So the average of the minimum value 1 3/4 and 2 1/4 is just 2. So now what I have to do is I have to subtract this average value 2 from each value of this inequality. So then I'm getting 1 3/4 negative 2 less than M negative 2 less than 2 1/4 negative 2. I have subtracted 2 from each value of this inequality. Okay, if I convert this mixed number to improper fraction, I'm getting 7/4 negative 2 less than M negative 2 less than, when I convert this one to improper fraction, I'm getting 9/4 negative 2. Okay, now here we do subtraction between a fraction and an integer. So whenever I want to do addition or subtraction between a fraction and an integer, I have to multiply the integer by the denominator of the fraction. Once I'm done with this multiplication, I can take this 4 as a common denominator. So now let me write 7 negative. So now let me multiply this integer 2 by this denominator. 2 times 4 is 8. Now we can take this 4 as a common denominator. Less than M negative 2. So the same thing we have to do over here. This 2 has to be multiplied by this denominator 4. Then I'm getting 9 negative 8 over 4. When I simplify this 7 negative 8, I'm getting negative 1. That is negative 1/4 less than M negative 2 less than. When I simplify this 9 negative 8, I'm getting 1/4. Okay, now let's consider an absolute value inequality in the form that is absolute value of x less than a. So if I solve this absolute value inequality, I'll be getting negative a less than x less than positive a. So now the inequality we have over here is exactly in this form. So at the place of a we have 1/4 and at the place of x we have m negative 2. So if I want to write this inequality as absolute value inequality, so what I have to do is, whatever stuff I have at the place of x, it has to be taken inside the absolute value. So at the place of x, I mean in the middle we have m negative 2. So this m negative 2 should be taken inside the absolute value less than, and whatever value we have at the place of a has to be taken over here on the right side. At the place of a we have 1/4. So that should be taken over here. So this is the absolute value inequality expresses the possible values of M. So we find this absolute value inequality in option B. So the correct answer choice for this question is option B.